Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you might have remembered me talking about this particular lizard, which is called a tegu. Well, it is getting worse with these things in Florida. And, I was reading because many of them also live in the Everglades. And it was saying that the alligators are really not getting them because they prefer to be like in a certain part of the Everglades, where these tegus, they tend to be on a side where the alligators don't really, they don't really like. So they don't really encounter the alligators that much. So they could, can be in the Everglades and still thrive in there. And that's exactly what's happening. Not only are they thriving there, they're thriving in many locations in Florida. So when I did the story originally, it was bad, but now they said, woo, it is worse with these things. So this is the Washington Post, and this is April 8th, 2021. Florida is full of invasive species. They're coming for the rest of us. Rest easy. You are safe from the Burmese python. The invasion constrictors show little interest in moving beyond the Florida Everglades, where they are eating their way through the food web. It's no surprise that they are getting more attention than other invasive species. A snake that grows up to 20 feet and theoretically ingests a small human makes for good headlines. But pythons are mostly limited to the Florida sawgrass. And, they said that's where alligators like to be too, in the sawgrass. Unless you live next door, you will not cross the path of any one of these anytime soon. So the same can't necessarily be said though for other scourges currently using Florida as a staging ground. Creatures like the tegu, a dog size. This is a lizard, and it's gained a foothold in the woods of Central Florida, or the lionfish, or the aquarium scapee with long venomous spines, or the Cuban tree frog, which has a nasty habit of eating native frog species. So a number of the state's nastiest living attributes is rapidly migrating outward. So the state usually, the history, it's a perfect climate for it. It's warm in Florida, and, it's moist, and it's a perfect climate for this particular tegu. But the thing is, these things are going beyond the state line, and they're also seen in Georgia and surrounding states from Florida. So they're not necessarily just in Florida alone. They are breeding so fast. They are going well beyond that. Okay, so Florida is a good case study for the effects of globalization. In particular, trade winds have been blowing across the peninsula for nearly a half a millennium, starting the founding of the Spanish city of St. Argentine, a full 50 years before Virginia, Jamestown, and continuing with Miami, present day, role in a hub for intercontinental trade. All the cargo coming and going was inevitable, brought non native species and stowaways, scattering in the holds of ships. Okay, so they said, this thing might have got over here through being a stowaway. But I think a lot of these are pets that people just decided they didn't want anymore, because, eventually a Tegu will start thinking your dog or cat might taste pretty good, if you know what I mean. So, wow, Florida got something. And remember the iguanas and how they got all out of control down there in Florida? They're going to always have these kind of problems. I mean, let's face it, not unless you are willing to go out there and do some animal control, which means killing up some of them. I don't see how you're going to really get this under control if we're talking realistically. If these things breed as fast as they say, and just like the iguanas do, then what are you really going to do? I mean, what are you going to really do? You going to go down to the Everglades? You might not be seen again. So, wow, it'll be interesting to see what happens when the weather really take off this summer and how these tegus do. Apparently, they like the hot climate. They seem to be doing quite well. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Wow. I would have I would have a fit if I walked outside and seen a dog-sized lizard running around. Oh man, that would just be too much. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.